the West Side Stories with Joe and Mahia. Talking comedy and smoking good sense of me. It's the West Side Stories with your host Wes Brenner and Joe and Mahia. How could it get much better? West Side Stories. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of West Side Stories podcast. This is the first solo pod that I've tried to do because I'm a loser. And no one will come over and podcast with me because no one fucking likes me. Um, no, I feel like people have compared me to two different Winnie the Pooh characters. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the book The Tao of Pooh, right? But there's like the Tao of Pooh, which talks about like how every person is, a different, like that each character in the Winnie the Pooh world, the canon, Winnie the Pooh canon. There's a each character in the canon of Winnie the Pooh represents a different character trait of like people, and so that like every person basically can be put into one of the boxes of either Pooh or fucking Tigger or owl or rabbit or piglet or Christopher Robin probably is one too. I don't know. I actually never read the book. I just had it because it looked cool. I was like, the Tao of Pooh, like this is tight. um, so lame. Just a fucking book bandwagoner. It's not even. I don't even read books. I just like listen to audiobooks if I'm gonna read a book. Like when I read, I just start to fall asleep immediately. But yeah, I realize I don't even need anybody for this podcast because the thing is that I don't let the guests talk. I mean, if you've watched any of these episodes, it's literally just me blathering on. It's usually just to give. I bring them so that they can give me a topic in which I can, fucking weave into another tangent with. But no, I don't need anybody. But no, it is sad. I tried to hit up a couple of homies today. It's the 4th of July, by the way. Happy fucking 4th of July. Yeah, I was gonna do a whole bit on how unpatriotic I am, but it seems sadder by myself. I was gonna go off somebody else and be like, "Oh, fuck America, dude," and then they'd be like, "What? No, America's dope." And it's like, yeah, no, I mean, I'm kidding, obviously. Like, America is dope, but I like to, ruffle the feathers, be a little bit of a fucking hater, try and be a edgy boy over here, edgy boys. Yeah, butt fucking, dude. I haven't done a lot of butt fucking lately. I'm pretty much an incel. I'm writing a joke right now, which probably won't work, but it is a funny, real concept where I'm like, I'm becoming celibate until I'm ungross enough to not be celibate anymore, because I'm so gross that no one wants to fuck me. And I'm like, well, okay, I have to get hot before anybody is going to ever want to fuck me again. And so until then, I'm just going to I'm going to be celibate, choosing to be celibate instead of being a fucking incel, which is, involuntarily celibate, I think. I think that's what it stands for. I don't know. But yeah, my co-host is off. Fucking, he's been sick this week. We've been trying to get a podcast in, and like, dude, he'll just text me and be like, "Hoops," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude! Like, sweet, a friend to hang out with, like a lifeline from my like fucking room of depression." And he'll just hit me up, and I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And then fucking, I'll be like, "For sure, I'm down." And then like 4 hours later, I'll have heard nothing from him, and I'll like text and be like, "Yo, like, we still doing this?" And he's like, "Oh, like, I actually had to go drive my girlfriend to do this," or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God, I fucking hate you so much, dude. I hate relationships. But I can't be a fucking hypocrite because I've definitely been that dude in relationships that was just like, I fucking abandoned all my friends and just was like, "Oh, I'm such a simp bitch when it comes to being in a fucking relationship or even not being in a relationship." Like, and this is like why I think I decided, like, the other day I just went on like a hangout with this chick who's like way out of my league. Like, this chick is way too hot for me. And so obviously she wasn't, ever thinking about me as a potential like sexual partner or anything like that. Like she's thinking of me as like, oh, this cute like little friend zone weirdo. I'm gonna go fucking, you know what I mean, like entertain or they're gonna entertain me. And so like we went out and like I am just such a simp, just bitch. So I just like spent like a bunch of money, which because I'm trying to be cool. So I'm like, oh, like let me like take you out to dinner and like buy everything and like da 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 and like I don't know, dude. I just felt like such a pussy and just which I am a pussy, but like it's just a bummer. Like I was just like, oh man, this chick is never gonna like want to hook up with me, and I was like, I need to like, which is cool. Like she's a cool chick. I'm stoked to have her friendship, but it was a little bit of a sad situation where I'm like, I don't want to just be the like loser heel always. Like I want to like work, and that's why like I do have to like get up and go to the gym and do stuff. But it's just I've been in a wave of depression for the last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost. I have not been doing almost any stand up, which has been super sad. I feel like a fucking just loser hobby comic who should just really quit, kill myself, give my time back to the room, because it's just sad at this point. But it's hard. I mean, it's expensive as fuck to drive around all these open mics. I don't really have a full-time job right now. I'm working one day at the club. Like I'm booked one day there, not doing comedy, but fucking, cooking, making sliders and shit. But I've got one day of work on the schedule now. So like I've just basically been brought back to, I mean, it's just like I gotta find something else. And I'm trying to find other jobs. I think I have a job interview today later, and I had one a couple of days ago, and then my car broke down recently. Like my car broke down over the last couple of days, and it's totally fucked. Like they fixed it enough to where it's gonna run for another month, but that's like it. And then I'm working on getting like a more gas efficient car because I've just had this fucking gas guzzling truck that I've been driving around. It's like a 95 fucking, S10, which is a dope fucking old truck, but like it just had problems. Even though it looked really good, there was definitely, it had sat like where it was at. Like it was like I got it like in this kind of rural town that I'm from in Washington on an island. And fucking so the people that we bought the truck from, it had like sat for a while just in like a farm area or whatever, and then so it needed maintenance, and then slowly things have just kind of been fucking falling apart on it here and there, and so that's a bummer. But and then just like that. So being stuck in my room, and then I was supposed to go to this festival that I like did the street team for, so I got like a free ticket. And then this chick was flying out from New York. A girl was gonna fly out from New York, a friend of mine. And she was coming out, and we were gonna go to the festival, and like maybe hook up, maybe not. I don't know. We'd hooked up in the past before, me and this person, but that was a long time ago. But she's super beautiful, and so I was, she knew I was enamored by her and was down with that. And she was kind of like, we'll play it out. Like I don't, I'm probably not gonna hook up, but I'm down to like kick it. And like I was just stoked to like cuddle and have a like dope person to like feel like I'm like on a date and like going to this festival, and like so I was buying her ticket. I mean, I was again being the fucking simp bitch and buying this $350 or $300 festival ticket, but at least I was getting mine for free. But then the festival got canceled like a week before it. Or like a couple of days before it, because there was wildfires in California, and the festival grounds was being used for the firefighters fighting the wildfires as like a base camp for their fucking trucks and their all that shit. And so it's so it got canceled, and that was a bummer. And then fucking and then she didn't come out because she was like she literally got on the plane and then like had a feeling and was like, I don't know if I should talk about this. I hope if you see this, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say any of your personal business, but she just had a bad feeling, got on the plane, and was like, oh no, I don't want to do this. Like, she's a kid and stuff, and so, you know what I mean? She bailed off the plane, and I totally understand that. She bought the plane ticket too, so like she then ate that, money to do that. But it was just a bummer because like I was super stoked to see her, and super stoked to go to this event. And that's what I do. I kind of like, take all my stress and all of like the things that aren't working out in life, and I'll just like, instead of like really like, getting to the source of the issue and like working on it and like trying to like do the hard due diligence of like going to the gym and getting out the joke book and working on jokes and like not doing drugs, not doing ketamine, not fucking smoking too much weed. If I smoke weed, not just like blazing all day long to where all my money is going to that. Like making my own food, like cooking food instead of going out and eating shittier meals that cost more money. Like there's all these ways that I know that I can be more productive as a person, but then I don't do them. I don't work on them. I'm just, I get fucking in my feelings. I get in my like depression, and I go and just lay on my bed for 6 hours. Like there's been so many days the last couple of days that I've just been like literally just laying on in bed doing nothing all day long, watching podcasts or watching fucking Netflix, and just and not working on stand up at all, not writing jokes, not going to mics, just being too depressed to even want to go to mics, having no new material. So I'm just like, why would I even go? I haven't got up at ACC for fucking a month and a half or something, I think. Maybe it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long. It might have been. Like, it's been a minute, dude, because I was like, I want to I want to like write more material before I just go there. I don't want to keep doing the same material there, and just, even if it does good, it still feels hacked to just only do the same shit there. So then I'm like, okay, I want to do different shit. I don't want to go back before that. And then, which somebody actually pointed out, who I'm not really like friends with anymore, I'm not close with, but he pointed that out, and I think that that is a good point, like to not just go back. And I mean, it's a good room, so it's like, I don't know, people don't always remember your jokes as much as like I think we as comics think. Like we're like, oh, everybody's heard this. Like if you've seen one person in the room when you've done a joke, you're like, I don't want to do that around them again. But the reality of it is that like not everybody's really paying attention to you like you think that they are. You know what I mean? Like you're in your head, you create that narrative, but it's actually, the truth is like, a lot of people are, thinking about their set, they're thinking about something else, they're thinking about a person in there, they're thinking about what happened earlier in that day. They're not totally present with you, not every single person, and there is new ears, as audience members goes and stuff. So I mean, I don't know, but I think that it is good to try and be work to be prolific versus to be lazy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I'm prolific, but I am very lazy, so I would love to like try and like exercise those habits and like, make them more precise towards the goals I'm trying to achieve, versus just like getting depressed and then accepting that narrative. And honestly, like, and this is why I just need to be in therapy, but it's hard to find a therapist. It's challenging, but I think that like I just need to talk about this shit, and that's why podcasting is fun. You know what I mean? And I guess it's kind of like nice because it's like you don't have to listen to this. Like if you're like, this is so boring, I hate this dude, I don't want to, you can easily tune out and turn it off. And so that is the cool thing about it, is like I'm not really taking up anybody's space. Like, like if sometimes like when you like burden your friends with too much of like what's going on inside of you, then like you just have to be aware of like, and perceptive of how much they can handle and how much you should be able to share, and how much, because you don't want to keep too much bottled in. You want to talk about stuff, and friends are there to be able to listen. But I mean, it's hard for me when I try and open up to friends and I feel like they're just not, like, they don't really care. But then that's again you projecting this. I think that's then like me or whatever projecting onto them, like, oh, like you need to, like, I'm more important than what you're going through. And that's a fucking narcissistic, egotistical, like selfish trait that like I'm a Leo, which goddamn it, fucking goddamn it, dude, my goddamn roommates have gotten me into this fucking bullshit of like, oh, just attribute the traits of whatever's going on to your astrological sign. Like, I hate it when people do that. So it's so lame that I did that. But you know, I mean, there is some merit and some truth to the those different things that, you know, are attributed to the different signs and the fucking whatever. I don't know. I'm stupid trying to sound smart. That's the funniest thing is like I'm so dumb, and then I try and like use big words because I've heard them in like an audiobook, and so then I try and like parrot that into my real life and be like, oh, the paradox and the everything is in the lexicon, and like it's the stupidest person that most people have ever met in their lives. Oh fuck, dude! Like I got kicked out of science class for like playing like with batteries, like spinning them like little fucking dreidel like tops. Like I was just like I think like taking off the wrappers of batteries and then spinning them and like having like little like wars. Like I don't know if everybody remembers Beyblades, but I feel like this was like maybe right a couple years after Beyblades, but it was still like we were fucking around like, yeah, dude, these are battery Beyblades or something, you know, and like, and I got kicked out of science class for doing that like a bunch of times. Like it would be that and other shit, but I would always get sent to the office. But then I figured out that like they wouldn't really check, so I would just usually go over to the art class because my art teacher, rest in peace, Miss Dubin, got me through a lot of the harder years of my, you know, freshman and sophomore year, because I dropped out after sophomore year. But yeah, fucking, I would just go to the art class and then just work on art projects and just chill in there because my other friends would be in there during different periods and stuff, and so I'd just go kick it in art class, and Miss Dubin was just always cool with it. And she died of cancer, but she was super dope. She had like Jamaican boyfriends, and or maybe just one. I don't want to say like multiple, but I feel like over the years she had more. But she would go to Jamaica, and that was her spot, and she would fucking always go. She would either be, you know, on the island that I grew up on, or she'd be in Jamaica. So she was island hopping. So that was very cool. And she just had a vibe. Like she would play good music, and she was a great artist, and she was very encouraging of art and like encouraging of like you know, like one of the things I remember was like, you know, use all the space, like all the white space. Like she was like, fill it all up. Like don't just leave a lot of white space. Like she definitely was not like a minimalist painter. She was like all about the color and the creativity and the boom, the outburst of you know, that creative magic, that spark. And she was definitely able to like help nourish that and to, you know, be a good like reinforcement for, you know, early creative learning and creative like steps into that world. So that was super cool. So I appreciated that art teacher. Shout out to art teachers. That's a hard job, man. I taught art to kids for a little bit for like 2 years of a summer. I taught some kids how to do art. Just like an after school program, or no, it was during the year. Actually, it wasn't summer classes. I think it was during the year because it was after they'd have school, and then they'd come and do art classes at the school in like one of the cleared out classrooms there, and it was cool because it was at the school that I went to elementary school at. So that was kind of funny because it was years ago. That was in Seattle because that was before we moved to the island, but. Yeah, that was funny to be back at that school years later. And it was that school was a bilingual school, so it was half day English, half day Spanish. So we would learn, which is why I attribute being so shit at fucking math and science, because I learned my math and science in a different language that I was definitely not as good at, like as English. So I'm learning math and science for my rudimentary fucking like beginner years, elementary school years, instead of like learning it in English. And then by the time I get to middle school and fucking, like by the time I get to middle school, my science teacher has a fucking deviated septum and would just stick pencils through his nose so that fucking we could see like his deviated septum. And he just said it was like, I forget why he said it was, but like eventually somebody was like, who knew about drugs at that point was like, no, dude, he was snorting drugs and fucking gotten a deviated septum in the 80s at some point, you know, and then became a fucking middle school science teacher. Shout out to him. I think it was Mr. Justin, dude. I can't remember his I think that was it. But, yeah, dude, fucking what was my middle school mascot? Oh, the Mustangs. Dude, we were the Mustangs. Yeah, the fucking McMurray Mustangs, bro. I think, right? My memory is so fucked. I mean, well, that's because in 6th or 7th grade, I started smoking weed at 12 years old. So, like, I mean, people, like, wonder why I'm retarded. And it's like, well, I mean, I never I'm stuck in arrested development. Like, my brain has never fully formed, you know? Like, and I've just been smoking copious amounts of weed till now. I'm about to turn 31. So that's like, you know, fucking 19 years of smoking weed, I think, almost. Like, it's the same amount of time I've been playing the guitar, too. But I'm not great at, like, I can only play chords, really, and kind of, like, shittily, like, fake solo, like, not at all, you know, like, a real fucking guitarist is, you know. I can play chords, you know, I'm decent at playing chords and singing and shit, but I mean, I just got too comfortable too. That's the thing. Like I like got to a certain point, and that's why like if you're learning an instrument and you get like to a certain point where you're good and you're just like showing off, and people are like, "Oh, that's sick." Keep going. You know what I mean? If you want to, because like if you stop and you just keep going, you stay there. It's such a slower progression of your like the skills improving and stuff. Like you kind of stay at the same spot, and then you just there's little, you know, nuanced growth, which is so funny because my roommate was using that word nuance so like 20 times in a conversation yesterday, and I like finally after like the 20th one I'm like, yo, like we're gonna start a drinking game or something of you saying that word. Like you've just been saying that for so fucking long. It's crazy. But yeah, I dropped out of high school in fucking junior or in sophomore year, at the end of sophomore year, so my second year of high school, because, and I might have said this on the podcast at some point because it's dumb. It's like one of my repeating stories, you know. But I got told like, oh, you should drop out of high school because because I got suspended so many times. That like the amount of times I got suspended, they were like, "Oh, if you get suspended any more, you're gonna have to get expelled. Like you have to get expelled, and then that'll go on your permanent record, and then you're fucked." Like, and so that would be yeah, they were like, it's going to be a lot easier for you if you don't. And I kind of think now they were just mind tricking me out of the school because they were just like, dude, this dude is a fucking menace to our entire establishment. So they were just like, fuck, like, goddamn. And then they wanted me out. So, you know, they tricked me, I think. Well, my vice principal hated me. And then my principal, she was actually pretty cool. My principal was like, very nice, like kind of motherly lady and shit. But my vice principal was a fucking. I mean, I don't want to say this to be like, oh, this is why she was a bitch, but she was a fucking, you know, pretty butch lesbian, dude. Like a dyke, like what you like. You know what I mean? No offense to the GBQ, the LGBTQ community. Like I'm a lover of the gays, but this lady was a fucking super dyke, you know. She was very butch, like dyke, and she was just super mean and like just did not like me and fucking had it out for me. And then like years later, she like apologized to my mom or something, or to me in front of my mom or something. I can't remember, but it was like I was playing this like show on the island I grew up on, like years later at this like benefit concert for like Martin Luther King or some shit. It was like a Martin Luther King Day thing, and I played it with like my ex bandmate at the time, um, and my vice principal was there, and she like apologized to like me, I think, and my mom. I don't know. I fucking again don't remember any of this bullshit, but yeah, fuck, dude. We're at like 20 something minutes. Like, goddamn, this is okay. This is why, because now I'm starting to peter out. Like it was like there was a good like 30 there where I was like, oh yeah, I'm rolling, and now I'm like, I'm kind of fucking bored and tired, and like you guys are probably bored. Like these stories fucking suck. I'm a fucking loser who can't even get anybody to come podcast with him on the 4th of July. Just sitting here by myself, dude. My co-host has abandoned me. Fucking all my I don't have any friends here. Like that's the thing is I literally don't have any friends in this town. I like people. I want to be friends with people, but I'm not. I think that I'm like better at like I'm good at like in situations engaging people and having a good time, but then I don't think I'm like I don't think people want to hang out with me that much. Like I feel like I'm kind of an asshole and maybe arrogant and all this shit, but I think like it's all just like insecurities. You know what I mean? It's all just me projecting my insecurities and being like, "Oh, I'm like a fucking," you know what I mean? I took a deep like rattling breath there. I was like, how am I gonna expose myself? But no, dude, like yeah, because I feel like I'm such a sensitive person. And back to the bullshit astrology, but like I mean, because I've only selfishly again only cared to learn about what I am and how that affects me. you know, typical fucking narcissistic Leo over here. But my moon sign, which they say like your moon is like your inner person, like your sun sign is like your outer fucking whatever who you are on the outside. Your inside is your moon is like your inside, and then your sun, your rising is like yeah, so sun sign is like the like who you are is on the core outside, and then your inner like workings like who you are on the inside, that's your moon sign, and then your rising sign is like what you're perceived as from afar, you know what I mean, from other people. That's what you're like, that's what your output is, what, right? I think that's it, and correct me, I'm sure fucking people who actually have a grasp of the astrology and shit would be like, no, that's pretty incorrect fucking summarization. But whatever, like you know what I mean. My moon sign is in fucking Pisces, which is like emotional and like sensitive and like watery, fucking like, and I completely do relate with that. Like I will say, because I am fucking just so sensitive, like such a fucking like I hear my fucking roommates cackling out there right now. And it's like every time they're like laughing, like I live with two girls, and like every time like they're like laughing and having a good time without me, like I'm jealous. I'm like I wanna hang out, like I wanna be included in everything, and it's so dumb. Like I'll get like my feelings hurt just 'cause like one of them won't like say hi to me, like when I walk in the door or something, like, and I'll be like, oh, like nobody wants to talk to me, or like I don't. It's so funny, like, and that's like I think people can probably pick up on that. You know what I mean? It's definitely not an attractive quality. Like I was definitely definitely like put that out in relationships too, where I'd be like, oh, like I want so much attention, and I want to be the center of attention, and then like I do like to like do things for other people and help people and like make people feel good and happy and like fucking whatever. Like I do like to reciprocate, but I feel like I demand like a lot from people, and I don't even really necessarily I feel like I'm not even always conscious of it, and I put a lot on people, or I'll get upset really easily if something doesn't go my way exactly. Again, this is just therapy now, dude, but I just can't afford therapy right now. It's hard to find one. I do have like Apple Pay or Medicare or whatever those fucking, I have something like that. And I have found therapists in the past that take that shit, but it's challenging to find it, and then it's challenging to find a good therapist too. Like I had a therapist who like so he was, I thought he was a good therapist, but I felt like he was very enabling. Like I feel like he would just kind of like excuse a lot of my behaviors, you know what I mean? Like he'd be like, oh, don't be hard on yourself for doing that, and I'd be like, I stole a bunch of money from my fucking grandpa's, like my fucking dementia ridden grandpa's fucking credit card to buy hookers and drugs. Like I'm like, that is bad. Like, and he's like, yeah, but like, you gotta forgive yourself, it's okay. But and I'm like, yeah, but I feel bad, and I'm trying to like atone to it and see, like, you know what I mean? Be like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to be this. And this was like a year ago or something when I was like definitely in more of a fucking darker, piece of shit fucking lifestyle. But you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like, fucking, it's just funny to like hear, a therapist just like forgiving you for everything, and you're like, I don't even really forgive myself for this, bro. Like I'm trying to hold myself accountable, and I feel like you're like trying to let me off the hook and shit, and be like, oh, you gotta like be nice to yourself. So that like didn't really work. And he was gay too, which like, again, this is my second time in this podcast where now I'm bringing up my like aversion to gays. But it's funny, I have some really good homies who are gay, and that's of course what anybody says when they're like trying to defend a fucking phobia. But I'm not homophobic. I know a couple people who actually, like, I had to work around this dude who's actually like homophobic, and you understand, like, you can hear the intention and the malice behind like the jokes that they make or like the words that they say, and it's like, oh, that's ooh, because I'll joke about anything, but I'm like, I think you can joke about stuff if you actually have a love for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I love, like I'm a quarter black, a quarter Mexican, and half white, and so like I'm brown enough, even though I'm pretty fucking light skinned, and people think like, and I'm very white. I grew up in a super gentrified fucking not hood fucking not, like, so I'm aware of who I am, but I'm brown enough that I've experienced racism. I've experienced like bigotry. I've experienced people having hatred in their heart just because of fucking somebody's skin color, and that makes me fucking livid and sick and just so angry. And the same thing goes for like somebody who doesn't like fucking or hates or is negative to trans people or to gay people, like any of that shit. And I'll joke about all this stuff, but if there's somebody who actually fucking like believes that those people are inferior or that those people are fucking, they don't, they hate those people just because of who they are, like, or what they are doing, like, that's fucking crazy. And then I hate those people. I hate the people who are gonna make that judgment. Like, those are the people that I'm like, okay, yeah, you fucking, we will never ever fucking like break bread or sit at the same table, or fucking, I have no respect for you, because if you fucking, like, even if it's how you grew up and shit, like, it's still like, I mean, I understand people who are older, like, it's not an excuse, but it is a reality of the situation where it's like they grew up in a different way and now they're trying to adjust to that. And I get that. That's different. Like, it still is not an excuse, but it's still like, okay, I'll work with that more. But somebody who is our generation, even if they grew up with it, like, it's your job to fucking change yourself, to fucking do what you can to like take away like hatred and bigotry and like the things that are going to actually hurt somebody. Like being able to fucking relate to somebody and resonate with it, where you can fucking joke about it and like have a, fucking rapport, like a fucking, like have some levity in the situation, then like that is a great thing, and I think that things need to be joked about and talked about. What the fuck is that? There's like a child crying at the neighbor's house or something. It's so distracting. God fucking damn it. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna fucking murder myself. What if I just started playing fucking music right now? What's up? I'm doing a podcast. I'm doing a podcast. You're on the podcast now. But what's up? Wait. Yeah, I'll hand to you. Hold on. Yeah. Here. Okay, hold on. What? No, I will. But here, just do it around the corner. I can't have it on camera. I'll get demonetized. Well, there's no monetization. Nobody watches this podcast. It's so sad because I even like I realized that like the clicks to like fucking click on the videos, like the views, if you just click on it a bunch of times, it'll just put the views up. Like I thought that like every view was from a different viewer, like a different like a user could only show that they viewed something one time. So if like somebody else went to it, it would go up, but if they went to it over and over again, it wouldn't increase. But then now fucking wait, I want that back. I don't know why she took that. But now that I realized that like yeah, you have to just fucking like you can click it as many times. If you click it 10 times, it's going to add 10 views to that video. So it's like the analytics are fucked. Like I was like thinking like, oh cool, like there's 60 views on like a couple of her like podcast episodes. I'm like that means 60 people have seen it. That's cool. That's a reason to keep watching. Then I'm like no, probably like 4 people have ever watched this podcast. Like me, Joey, which the people who are on it. Shout out Stacy. Stacy's watched most of our episodes, and I love him for that. He's our fucking only fan. He's our only fans. I think I've made that stupid joke before. Hold on, I need my bong back. Pause. Fucking pause the episode, you guys. Got distracted. We're on a time crunch here, people. I need my getting my medicine stolen, dude. Swiper no swiping. God damn, this is the. Hold on. TV. It's all alleged. Allegedly, you heard something in the background. I'm just lighting off fireworks, dude. Happy 4th of July, yo. I'm proud to be an American. Proud to be an American. Yeah, dude. Fuck. 4th of July, I gotta say, I don't love it. It's not my favorite holiday. I think that fireworks are pretty fucking stupid. Even if you're on acid, they're not that cool. Like visualizers on a really good like high def fucking TV or like behind a stage with like a dope fucking band or a dope fucking like electronic producer or whatever, like a DJ fucking not a DJ, a producer or a fucking band, but like you know what I mean, like something with dope visuals, like the Sphere visuals. I bet are cooler. I haven't been to the Sphere, you know, the Sphere in Vegas, which is the big fucking MSG's new Vegas fucking venue or whatever that the Dead have been playing like a fucking residency at for fucking 3 months or whatever over this summer. But like I feel like that's cooler. Those visuals way cooler than fucking fireworks. I've never been super into fireworks. Fireworks the funnest thing for me. I think we're like having Roman candle like battles at fucking on the beach and shit. And even that like we're kind of pussy with. Like I mean my friends were definitely more brave and more fucking scary than me. I was definitely the bitch. But like, I mean, I think I even shot some Roman candles at people. Like, I think I can remember it, but the it was cool. It was coinciding with me fucking smoking a bunch of weed at like 14 years old. So, you know what I mean. The memories aren't crystalline, but. Oh, and it's funny too because I do feel like even though this is a fucking solo episode and I'm just like here alone just rambling like a fucking psycho lunatic crazy person, and this is just like the lowest point of my life, and this is sadness. No, it's not, but but you know what I mean. It's pretty lame, pretty depressing that I'm just sitting here doing a fucking solo cast. But I don't even know where I was going with that. Fuck, dude, I fucking distracted myself just thinking about how much of a loser I am. No, but yeah, fucking the 4th of July. I do remember just running around and like, yeah, we'd get fireworks, and I don't know. I never loved it. I've always had animals. My parents have always had, like, I don't have any of my own, but I've basically always lived in houses with them. My parents have had dogs and cats since I was a kid. No animals love fireworks. Like my grandma, rest in peace. But my grandma's dog would fucking rest in peace to her and her dog, because they're both up in that big pie in the sky. But they would both, you know what I mean? My grandma wouldn't even come to the fireworks because her dog would get so scared that her dog would potentially bolt and run away, like to the forest, and then not be back for like a day or two or a day, and it'd be like a whole scary thing. So I don't know. I don't love fireworks. I've never really had like some crazy awesome 4th of July. I've had some fun ones, like, I was at like a festival one time, and they did a big 4th of July party out there because it was like the working party for the festival, like getting set up or whatever. But that was kind of cool. And I don't know. I know I've seen like some on boats, like some barge shows. Like growing up on the island, there was a cool show. And then also like where was the other one? Oh, yeah, just in Seattle. In Seattle, like there was a decent one, when I was a kid and stuff. Gasworks, I think Gasworks Park they would do one. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not my fucking thing, dude. I just really don't really give a fuck. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not a big drinker either, so it's like the only time I don't know. Like I like getting fucked up for things when everybody else is getting fucked up, but it's like. And it's just been so long since I've had like a crew too, Oh, I guess I used to go back in the day when I had like one of my best friends in high school, who like fucking nobody from my high school like talks to me at all anymore. They all like abandoned me. They're all like done with me, after I fucking dropped out and shit. They all kind of just fell off one by one, but my fucking one of my ex best friends, or my ex best friend or whatever, like, but one of my best friends from when I was in high school, he had a fucking boat. Like his dad had a little bit of money, and he had a boat and shit. So we would go out on his boat and fucking watch the fireworks, and that was actually pretty sick. Being on a boat, and sometimes like we'd bring babes and shit, and it was like we're so cool. Those were the days. Like I feel like I peaked in high school, and I was still a loser then. You know what I mean? Like I was a fucking dork, but like I was like a fucking. I wasn't really a dork, but I was, because I played sports, and like, but I was a stoner, and so I was like the freak. I was like, I wasn't the geeks. I was freak of freaks and geeks. And then fucking which, shout out Freaks and Geeks, one of the best fucking shows ever. But yeah, fucking yeah, I wasn't. I was, but I kind of feel like I like could go among the tribes. And though I wasn't cool among the tribes, I was still able to like be like, hey, what up, fucking popular kids? Like y'all will laugh at me. I would like wear my mom's clothing, not super womanly pieces, but I would wear like, she had like a suede trench coat. Such a dork. But like there was a point where, because my mom's shorter than me, but like there was a point where we were the same size when I was in like grade, 7th grade, but I think just like like 5th into 6th grade, or like 6th grade, I was like the same size as my mom. So I would wear her like Blundstone boots, like she had Blundstones, and then I would wear like her fucking like suede trench coat and shit. And like, dude, I thought I was like the fucking coolest, like Matrix fucking walking dude. And then this dude like called me out, like he was like, yo, is that a girl's coat? And I was like, I don't. Yeah, it's my mom's. Like, he's like, you fucking loser. And then this other chick, she would fucking make fun of my Blundstones, and she called them my Neanderthal slippers. And I've never let that go. I might have even said that on a podcast too before, because that one really, that's like one of those burns that just like, like fucking 18 years later, I'm still talking about. I'm like, yeah, she called my Bloodstones Neanderthal slippers, which I still like. I love Blundstones. I have a pair of Blundstones to this day. Those are my work shoes. But like, so shout out Bloodstones, dude. Fucking, they're sick. But Neanderthal slippers till the fucking day I die, dude. Like, I am a Neanderthal, bro. Like, but I'm actually not jacked enough to be a Neanderthal. I'm like I'm a doughy Neanderthal. I was one of the vegetarian Neanderthals. Or the Homo sapiens. I was a vegetarian Homo sapien. Just all I would eat was like bone broth and fucking just berries and fruits and berries. I was a hunter gatherer for sure, dude. I wasn't, or I was a gatherer. I mean, not a hunter. I was one of the gatherers, dude. I was with the ladies, in the fruit baskets. Oh, I am a fruit basket, right? So people like to call me fruit basket. That's a fucking anime too, right? A really like dumb one. Like, like, wow, I'm just rambling into shit that no one fucking knows now, bro. We're at 45. We got another 15 minutes, bro. I got this, dude. I'm gonna fucking long haul this shit, man. I'm fucking, yeah, dude. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know what to even say anymore, dude. This is getting depressing. At first, I was thinking this was a good idea. I was like, yeah, dude, fucking talking into a microphone for a fucking hour. Let's go. And now I'm like, this is getting taxing, dude. This is, my fucking endurance, my microphone endurance is not, completely here. I'm getting distracted. I want to smoke more weed and just fucking. This is why I like having another person, because then I can pause and smoke weed and it's not like so annoying to whoever's still listening. Shout out. If you're still listening, dude, shout out to you, my guy. Like, why is one thing, you know what I mean? Like, maybe you should get a podcast because you're probably more interesting than this, It's like the bar has been set very low. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're trying to make podcasting gear illegal. Like, you gotta like go through a whole government, fucking sponsorship just to be able to like fucking rent podcast gear for like an hour, and they're gonna be like, well, they're gonna check all your fucking guests, I mean, it's gonna be like fucking communist Russia, but in in the podcast world. Like, that's where it's headed very quickly, boys and girls. Yeah, no, I don't know. Fucking things are happening in the news, you know what I mean? Haktua is very big still. I feel like people are getting tired of the Haktua thing. And I am. I hate internet fads, really. I kind of just, well, because I'm always the last. I'm not the last, but I'm like the third to last to find out always, because I'm not really on the internet. Like, I'm just like, I'm a fucking dinosaur loser, dude. I'm a dinosaur junior loser. Dinosaur Junior is a cool band. I just kind of started tapping into Dinosaur Junior the other day because there's this podcast I listened to called Bandsplain. Shout out Bandsplain. Yasi Solek, the only woman I would ever love to give my heart to. No, I love Yasi though. I love her podcast. I love Bandsplain. Super crush on Yasi. She's the best. But and I am in your DMs, Yasi. You will never accept them, but I do say all day, you're prettiest. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a fucking loser, dude. Yasi will never see this. And if she ever did, if anybody clipped this and showed her, she'd be like, this is the demographic of loser that I want to stop podcasting because of. But anyways, fucking, she has a great podcast though called Bandsplain, where they deep dive into a cult, like an artist or musician with a cult following, or whatever that like is just a fucking interesting musician that maybe not everybody knows the backstory about, even if you've heard their name. So Dinosaur Jr. is a perfect example of that, where like I never heard a Dinosaur Jr. song, but I've known their name for 15 years or something, you know what I mean? Roughly. Like, not like I've had people who are like, yo, Dinosaur Jr. is dope, check it out. I've never had anybody who was into it, that I really knew. Or if I did know, they didn't tell me they were into it or whatever, or they weren't into it at the time that we were listening to music together. So I never stumbled upon it, but then she'll do Yasi will the Bands Playing podcast will do like these deep dives on different bands, and then I'll listen to them because I'll be like, oh, that band is cool. I know more about them now. I know the backstory. So then I'll just fucking listen. And like Dinosaur Jr. was definitely one that I was like, this is cool. They have some cool fucking songs. They cover a Cure song that Just Like Heaven. So that's cool. And I found a bunch of other bands too through that, like Gin Blossoms. Like I didn't know Gin Blossoms before that, or like I hadn't really listened to Operation Ivy before that, or like I hadn't listened to fucking Pearl Jam that much before that, but then like so she'll open the door to stuff that I've either been like, oh, I know what this is, I don't need to fucking go check it out, or I've been like, oh, I like it's just kind of slipped my mind or been too obscure or whatever. So yeah, so that's cool. Fucking shout out that podcast. I don't know, now I'm just doing fucking shout outs at the end of this, just trying to get through that last 10. Like, this is like the Bill Burr fucking special in Philadelphia, in Philly, where he's just like, 7 minutes left. All right, all you fucking goddamn mongoloid fucking dudes with the fucking top. It's a great fucking moment. If you haven't seen that, Bill Burr in Philly, he's just fucking, it's like after the fucking like O&A fucking live tour, like they're doing Opie and Anthony are doing like fucking live shows, and like I think Dom Herrera had just got off the stage, and then fucking like he didn't get a like good reaction at all, and then Bill Burr gets on, he's like, yo, that was fucking Dom Herrera, like, god damn it, you guys don't even know what the fuck you're looking at. I can't do a Bill Burr at all, that's so bad. That's so fucking bad. I should just scrap this whole episode. I don't know why I would put this out, except for because I'm a patriot, dude. Forget everything I said about oh yeah, that's kind of fucked up that I was like bashing America. But it was a bit, you know what I mean? I love America. I'm happy to be here, dude. I don't want to be fucking, where there's war-torn fucking streets and shitty, like, drinking water and fucking too many, cockroach-infested fucking, I mean, like, I'm sure that's here, too, but I'm lucky, dude. I live in fucking sunny San Diego, man. Or at least I live outside of San Diego. I'm not going to dox myself because people will probably want to, like, come like hurt me after I put this out because, well, one, because I'm not a patriot. I'm just kidding. I am. I love America, dude. But no, also just because I suck at podcasting. I'm just a shitty. I just suck. I just probably annoy people. Like I do annoy people, and I can't even help it. Like I want to. Like let's go back to the like call back to the like I have no friends, or it's like I don't think people really love being around me. Like I think I'm either really annoying, or I'm like arrogant, or I'm like I don't know. I don't know how to be an appealing person. Like I think I've just forgotten because I used to have friends. Like I used to have so many more friends, and I've like I mean I've burned a lot of bridges. I can't say I haven't, but you gotta light your way, light the way, light the path ahead with the burning bridges from behind. Who is that fucking? Bukowski. I was gonna say like I was gonna wrongly pronounce a fucking name of like a poet that I don't know at all, like Tolsky or whatever. What is it? Fuck, somebody write in the comments. Tell me how stupid I am. I'm sure that'll already be happening eventually. The thing is, the reason we don't have any negative comments yet is because no one listens to this podcast. And that's how I know they don't listen. Because, like, the second that people start actually listening, it's going to be so much hatred. It's like, yo, dude, Brendan Schaub makes this podcast look fucking incredible. Or you guys make fucking Brendan Schaub look incredible. I meant the other way. Sorry. You guys make Brendan Schaub's podcast look incredible. Like, which no hate to Schaub, dude. I'm not trying to like, pull Lev Fur here and just, I mean, Lev Fur's so many light years ahead of like, God, it's so sad, dude. Like, Lever's younger than me, dude, and I'm like, just a fucking loser. Like, I'm like not even into my second year of comedy yet. Like, I'm almost, but I'm at like a year and fucking 7 months or 8 months or something. Yeah, I think it'll be, or no, now it's like 9 months. No, 7 months. Year and 7 months. Just I don't know. It's just sad, dude. Like this is just I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even started a podcast yet, but I mean, Rogan did say like, "Oh, if you're a new comic," which, God, dude, I'm just nailing myself to the cross here. Rogan did say. I don't even subscribe to like what Rogan does say, but I mean, he's very successful, so it's just like, all right, I did hear him say that in the podcast, and I was like, that makes me feel a little better because I'm a fucking loser down here at the fucking bottom of the bottom. And he's like, oh, well, people should. If I was a new comic, I would be still like, just do a podcast. It'll eventually, hopefully, pick up. I mean, this one won't. This one's people are gonna watch this and be like, yo, there's no reason I need to expose myself to more of this fucking narcissistic loser, and then his like quiet fucking co-host who's not even here, dude. Now it's a ghost host. Like I killed Joey Mejia, and the body, the ghost of him is just floating around here, fucking just incestuously. Like, well, not incestuously because we're not related, and he's not fucking my ears with his ghost penis. And how I know that is because Joey doesn't like gay stuff, but he's not the homophobic person I was talking about. Because he's not homophobic, he's just like, or maybe he's a little homophobic, but it's not out of like bigotry. It's out of like, I think like fear. Like he just doesn't know. Like me, like I'm too comfortable, dude. Like I think I've told my story, my pretty gay story, but like I like one time I've tried to do this into a bit a couple of times. It just has not worked. But like basically I was like, this was like, I don't know how many years ago. Like this had to be like 8 or 9 years ago or something. So I would be 22 or 23, something like that. That sounds kind of about right. And so fucking I like was doing drugs with this homie. I'd been like on a road trip or something. I like went to this homie's house, and it was like him and another dude. And my this is my good homie, and he's very gay, like super like gay dude. And like the dude that he was hanging out with was probably gay too, or bi or whatever. But like so we're all doing drugs together, like doing ketamine and shit. And then I'm gonna stay over there, and I was just like, I don't know how it like got to this, but it was just like I was decided like I was sleeping in the middle of the bed. Maybe they only had one bed or something, but I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just sleep in the bed with you guys. And I'm like sleeping in the middle because we're all doing drugs and we're all like high. And this story always makes me sound so gay, but I'm like, I was like, and this is why I've tried to make a bit about it, which I don't think it's a super relatable topic, so it's been hard to make a bit about it. But I was like in a fucking, basically like a game of gay chicken with myself, where I was like, oh, I'm so like comfortable with my sexuality and like so fucking non-judgmental of like gay people that I'm gonna fucking like be in the middle of this super gay sandwich. And so I'm like laying in the middle, and both these dudes are like cuddling on both sides of me, like knee, like leg over my knee, like leg over my knee, just like both cuddling on me. And I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, still like, we're like in my head, I'm like, oh, most dudes would be so fucking like uncomfortable with this, and I was like slightly uncomfortable, but I was like, yeah, this is fine. I'm high. We're all chilling. Like this is okay. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just a weird point in my life where I was trying to be like too conscious and too like yeah, accepting. Like now I would just be like, nah, I'm just gonna sleep like on the floor. Like I'm good. But you know what I mean? Young like hippie me like going to the festivals and stuff. I'm like, oh, you don't be judgmental. Like, and so I'm just like sleeping in the middle of the bed with these dudes. And I wake up in the middle of the night, and my good homie, my dude, like who I've been friends with for a long time, and still was friends with after this, he's like reaching down and like trying to grab my dick, like to play with it, and I fucking am just like, I just pushed his hand away, and like at this point, I don't think they're like cuddled up on me, like everybody's kind of like moved away, and like in their own space a little bit, but he's like trying to like grab on my dick, and I just like pushed his hand away, and I was like, yeah, like nah, fucking get out of here or something. And then like we just like went back to bed, and it was just so funny because like then like And I don't think I said anything to him after. I think the next day was fine. And then like I just thought it was weird, and then I was like, that was fucking weird, but whatever. And then like we were friends after that. Like we like one time like a couple years later, I saw him at fucking Burning Man. I ran into him like randomly at Burning Man on a dance floor or something, and I see him there, and fucking he's we're chilling, and we're like, what's up, dude, blah blah blah. And then like we find some a white like a baggie of white powder on the ground. And this is like kind of during fentanyl time. Like fentanyl has definitely like hit some people at this point and shit. It's like it wasn't like the peak of it, but it was definitely like the beginning of like, yo, you don't want to just be doing like random white fucking baggies of drugs off the ground. But me and him were just both like dumb as shit. So we're just like, yeah, let's go fucking like I'll test it if you test it. Like, all right, cool, let's do it. And we both like do bumps of it and are like, oh, that's definitely ketamine. And so then we just like do all of it. We're like, fuck yes, dude, let's fucking do all this ketamine. Like we found a gram of K. So that was tight because whenever you find a gram of K and it doesn't kill you because it's not fentanyl, that's just a good day. You know what I mean? Like, that's just a good fucking day. So, yeah, I want to do a bit out of that, but I don't know if it'll work because it's so weird and so gay. Like, people are like, no, you're just gay and you got molested too. Like, you just have bisexual curiosity and got molested. But in my head, that's not it because I'm like, there wasn't any like sexuality from me, and it was just trying to be like so like I'm so cool, I'm so woke. Like it was trying to be woke before woke had even like been an established thing into the lexicon. Call back from me trying to use big words, but no, like that's like what you know what I mean? It's like fucking it was just me trying to be like, oh, I'm so acceptant and so non-judgmental of my gay friends that like I can cuddle with them in bed and it's not like can be non-sexual, just like I can cuddle with a chick in bed and it's not sexual. Where it's like anytime I'm cuddling with a chick in bed, like I want to fuck. Like it's like even if I can make it non-sexual, which back then I couldn't, I would be the handsiest little fucking demon, dude. Like you know, oh man, they will tell you the stories. No, fucking, well, shit, we made it past an hour. That's cool. Maybe I'll just go for another hour, dude. Let's see how long I can just fucking ramble. I need a bong rip for getting past an hour. I might talk a little bit more, but I do need to hit this really quick because, allegedly, I'm not doing it on camera for some reason. I don't know why. Like, PJ really got me, like, on the, like, don't smoke weed on camera, but, like, in the comments, if you do listen to this show and you're like, no, you can smoke weed on camera, just tell me because I forget if you can't. Like, I think there's shows that people smoke weed on camera. Like, I feel like there's gotta be. Yeah, damn. I'm a fucking. I could just edit it and just smoke weed. Like, I'd just be like, bye. And then I could fucking, like, throw on an actual good podcast and watch it. I gotta go clean my living room and my fucking bathroom today because I live with ladies and we do like a cleaning regime around the house where we all fucking take turns to clean a different room, like deep clean it. And when I first got fucking introduced to that concept, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, I already do dishes like every day. I take out the trash once a week. Well, I take out the trash multiple times a week to the fucking trash cans, but I take the trash cans up the fucking driveway. Like, I'm like, I already do shit here, bro. Like, I was like, kind of, and I like a clean place, and that's why, like, I'm actually really stoked on it. But it was definitely like having to be taught how to clean the house, like, I was annoyed, especially because like both my roommates are fucking cleaning ladies and Virgos, and so they're just like clean people, and they both work doing cleaning for their job. So it just they're like more used to it, and then for me, I'm like deep cleaning like that. What the fuck? Like I do that at work, sort of, you know. But I mean, there's a reason I've been moved to one day a week on that fucking schedule. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm the cleanliest fucking little worker bee that they got in the in the hive. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. Oh man, dude, fucking. Yeah, but Fourth of July is just kind of dumb. I don't know. It's like one of those holidays that's up there with like Cinco de Mayo too with me. Like, and then I fucking hate like. I really don't like the sound. Like, I sound like an old fucking loser old man, but I just don't like the sound of just fucking, like, mortars going off, dude. I hate that. Like, and it's been happening in the last, like, couple of weeks because we live in a fucking, neighborhood that's, mostly fucking Latino families and stuff, and they like to fucking shoot off some fireworks, I'm not gonna hate, bro. I got a little fucking Mexican in me, but it isn't the one that likes to shoot out fireworks. It's the one that likes tacos and burritos. A big fucking Mexican cuisine. I love it, dude. Guacamole, bro. I make a mean guac. One time, I'm going to tell you the coolest guacamole story that I've ever experienced. People have had probably way cooler ones, but I was trying to be all cute and cool and like impress this chick when I was hanging out with her and her daughter and fucking her friend that we were visiting. We were out in North Carolina and we're visiting her friend, and this was like this is my ex, but we were like together. This is when we were together or whatever. But I mean, this is the ex that like broke my heart and like whatever. I don't want her docs, but but anyways, fucking we're floating a river. And it was super cool. We're like floating the river on like some, tubes and shit, fucking the river rafting tube shit. And we're like floating down, and I brought a cutting board and a knife and then all the makings for guacamole. And I just fucking, like, while we're floating down the river, I made guacamole, like, in a bowl. I brought a bowl too, and then chips. And I made guacamole while floating down the river and shit. And then we, like, pulled up at a bank, and we, like, all ate guacamole. Like, it was pretty cool, dude. I felt it was definitely a flex. Like, the dude was so stoked on her friend. He was like, yeah, this dude's so cool. He's like, he made guacamole, like, on the river. Like, he kept, like, saying it. Like, the next time we saw him, he was like, remember that time, man? You made guacamole on the river? Like, I was like, yes, dude. Like, it was funny. But I think, like, me and my, like, chick, like, at the time, like, me and my girl at the time, we were, like, fighting, too. And then, like, I, like, made the guac, and we were like, all right, let's not fight. Like, but, we would fight so much, dude. That relationship was very toxic. But, I take some of the responsibility for that, for sure. I'm a horribly challenging person to be even friends with, and that's why I have no friends on 4th of July. Like, I have no, and I'm not trying to complain either. Like, I'm not trying to put this out. I'm not even gonna like share this episode on like Facebook and be like I'm just gonna put it out on YouTube. The people who watch it, my homies, that's like the people who actually watch the show, that's fine. I'm not trying to like, I'm not like doing this as like an SOS. So please, guys, pay attention to my podcast and then tell me how I'm like, you guys are friends with me. Like, I'm like, no, I understand. Like, I mean, I have acquaintance homies who are like outside in the world. We're friends, but I don't really have people like that I'm like super close with here anymore. My roommates are probably like the closest people I have here, and then like Joey. But like, we don't really get to do that much shit because he is always with his girlfriend and shit, which, shout out to her. She's a great person. Like, I love them both, but it makes it hard because I'm looking for somebody in comedy who can help me to like get farther and to not just in joke writing and stuff. Like, I would love somebody who like encourages me to like work harder on the craft because I just get discouraged and I'm like, whatever, I suck. I don't want to fucking work hard, and that's my own mental blocks and my own fucking obstacles that I create. But like, but I want somebody that I can like help produce show, like could work on producing stuff with me, like can work on like cold calling places to find or like emailing places, and I know I just have to like just do this stuff myself. Like, it's not just with anything in life. If you want to succeed, you got to work on it yourself, and you got to work hard, and you got to not depend on anybody else. And those are the lessons that I need to really like instill in myself and work on, because I'm so good at procrastinating. I love to be lazy. I love company. I love people. I love just like, instead of working on what I should be working on, I love fucking throwing that to the wayside and just fucking like trying to, just hang out with people and just veg out. Like, if I'm so lucky actually right now that like I don't have like a friend who loves doing ketamine, because like I have some friends who do K with me, but like nobody who's like every day doing it. And I've had that before. Like my boy, like in fucking Texas, like shout out to him, like fucking, I've had homies in Seattle who were like, it was just like every time I wanted to do K, they were doing it, so then I could just go hang out with them and like enable that fucking, that part of myself, that fucking whatever drug fucking habit or toxicity, and then it's just like, because I'm already doing that myself, like I'll already like get money and go fucking spend it on drugs, and so like, um, yeah, so like when I have a running partner with that, it's so dangerous and it's so fucked. So that I'm actually like grateful, even though like I'm bored sometimes, and I kind of am like, I wish I had somebody to like do some drugs with or smoke some weed with or whatever, like or more people to smoke weed with. Cause I have a couple of people that smoke weed, but not just that like come over a lot. There's shout out to him. There's like my boy who I work with. He like came over the other day and we smoked bowls and stuff. And so I want to keep. I also have to reach out to people because I get in my own head about like, oh, like nobody wants to talk to me, nobody wants to hang out or whatever, or I just am like, I don't know, you get into your shell, but yeah, and so like the procrastinating, and then I think that it's probably good I don't have a girlfriend right now too. Like even though I'm like lonely and like this is what sends me on these kind of benders, because I like, the fucking, I was gonna hang out with that chick and then fucking she was gonna fly out and we are gonna kick it and go on an adventure, and that didn't happen, and that kind of threw me off onto a bad headspace and stuff, because I was like bummed, because I was like, I just want, I want fucking connection, and I want to fucking be intimate and sweet with somebody, and like, be like I loved being a boyfriend. Like it was so fun. Like even though I am a simpy like dude, I love like making somebody happy and just like doing that. And like I mean, I love having sex too. Like I want to fucking, it's fun to fuck, and it's fun to fuck non-hookers. Like I've been just fucking hookers like for so long, and I haven't fucked a hooker for like a month and a half or something now, so it's been a sec. I just been like, yeah, no, fuck it. Every time I've like thought about it, I'm like, I'll just jerk off, and I jerk off. I'm like, I don't want to go do that, because it's such an impersonal connection. Like even like I've had a couple hookers that I've like hooked up with over the like many that I've hooked up with over the last whatever year and a half that I've done it. But and like a couple that have been like cool and like vibe, and like I've kind of vibed with or had fun with. There was one that like she liked to do K, so we like I would just fucking like bring K over, and then she would like give me like, she basically like do it for like $40, and then we would split a gram of K or whatever. So it was like a really good deal, like cash wise. I'm such a fucking cheap, even though I'm not cheap. I was like, oh well, here's the best fucking deal for the fucking hookers. But no, but but that was cool, because it'd be like we'd be hanging out more. It would be like, oh, we'd actually chill. It'd be like more of a fucking half hour, 45 minutes, like kicking it and fucking and like doing some drugs, which is like that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to get like the girlfriend experience, I guess, because I'm like, because I'm not cool enough for like, or hot enough for chicks to like actually want to come hang out with me. But like back in the day, that was like the shit, or like that's the shit about like having a girlfriend, like where you're like, oh yeah, like you have somebody to kick it with. And like, I mean, my last girlfriend, like I stopped smoking weed for like 60 days of that relationship, and like, which sounds maybe like not a lot, but 2 months of not smoking weed is actually a lot for me, because I've been smoking like pretty steady since I was like 12 years old, and it's just increased to like maybe, at that time I didn't have the money or the access to get weed every single day, so I was probably smoking once a week to twice a week to 3 times a week, as I get older. But then like once I hit like 16, 17, 18, like 20, I was like smoking every day from then until now, like every single day, multiple times a day, all day long, as much weed as I could fucking buy. So anytime that I've like stopped smoking weed and shit, it's like it's a good thing. Like it's a blessing. Like I'm like, oh, that's cool. But it's super hard for me. Like I tried to stop the other day, and then like immediately, like the day that I was like, I'm not gonna do it, I like went and bought weed. Like, and I was just like, oh wow, like you have no discipline, no self control. But it's hard because weed is really the only thing. Like, because otherwise, I don't even really get super stoned off of it, and ketamine is like the thing that like I want to do all the time, but I don't want to, because it makes me completely like not productive at all. It just makes me want to like just completely veg out more and just watch TV more and just fucking just not work on anything productive, no comedy or whatever, because I'm just like, I just want to be high. So it's really not a good thing for me to be doing ever. Like, but I will every once in a while, because I'm like depressed, or I'm like thinking about my ex, or I'm just like bumming or I'm like whatever. Usually, but that's like those are traits where it's like none of the things that I'm doing it for are like, oh, I'm partying. I mean, unless it's like I have it too where it's like I'm going to this cool show, I want to get high on K, or like I'm going and doing this, like, and I did that the other day. But even the other day, like I did that and I was like sneaking it behind that chick's back because I was like, she doesn't do drugs. So then I was like doing bumps like when she would go away, and then like I think at the end of the night she could totally tell because I think like my nose was just caked in like white shit. Like, oh yeah, and then I think I was trying to make this point earlier, but like I think that like, so I feel like even though it's a solo cast, this was the point I think that I like rambled off on. But even though it's a solo cast today, I feel like I'm more cohesive than I've been on like a lot of the last episodes, and that's because I was so fucking blitzed on ketamine. Like the last fucking, I don't know how many podcasts, but definitely the last like 3 or 4. Because I'm like, oh, because the last one that came out, the last one that came out was me and Joey, and I can't remember if I did K that day. I don't know if I did because I don't know if I had any that day. So that one might be a little bit more cognizant, but like the fucking ones before that, like in Seattle, and then like that Seattle one, I did both those pods that same night. Like I like went and did, I went and drove all the way to PJ's, did his pod on Hell Yeah Podcast, which you can watch that episode too. Then drove all the way to fucking the Gothic Asshole, which is like those are fucking 30 miles from each other or more, maybe more, 45 miles or something. And so I drive all the way back over there, do the pod with Ian for an hour, with fucking Adam Ivan, and then I drive back up to fucking PJ's again, which is another fucking hour drive, and then fucking go do the podcast with him and Rob. So it was just like 3 pods in a night. I did feel fucking it did feel cool because I was like, oh, this is what all the actual comics like talk about when they like go from, like New York comics go to LA, or like LA comics go to New York, and they do like 5 pods in a day or something because they're trying to like get them all in while they're in town and shit. But so I was like, that's cool. It kind of I'm emulating. But yeah, shit, dude. This has fucking been fun for me. I hope it's been, cool for somebody to listen to and check out. And but yeah, I should probably go fuck it. I don't know what I'm hearing yelling. Oh. Oh shit. Shit's going down with my fucking roommates right now. God damn. Alright, I might get off this so I can help out if I need to. Alright. Fucking peace out, you guys. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Like and subscribe and all that. And yeah, I appreciate you guys listening if you are. Alright, big love, man. Thanks for doing it. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Fucking America, USA, baby. Alright, peace.